back, welcome back, welcome back. And we are back after a little bit of a lull of content. That was only because there was just not too much going on that I needed to make a video about. And it just gave me time to reset kind of what was going on. As you can see, we have a new logo, new theme song. Everything's kind of new and improved, so we are back better than ever. I'm excited to get started. But before we get started in the NFL Draft review, I need to shout out one of the greatest athletes of all time, one of the greatest women's basketball players of all time, Candace Parker, CP3, retired today. She went to college at Tennessee, coached by Pat Summitt. She went on to the LA Sparks, won a championship there, and then went on to Chicago to win a championship for her hometown, which was the first year that I started watching women's basketball, 2021, and I started watching because of her, because I saw, Candace Parker got a new team. This is a great time for me to get into it, and just made me fall in love with the game. So I owe so much to Candace Parker. A lot of what I talk about here is about women's basketball, and it's such a huge part of what fuels me to keep this channel going. So just a huge part of me getting through these days of just whatever is to Candace Parker, and I will forever be appreciated. She finished her career with the Las Vegas Aces, winning a championship, even though she could not finish the year because of an injury. And that kind of what made her stop playing. But just an amazing 15-year career, I believe. She gave everything to the game, changed the game. Like, the point forward position is a dominant position because of her. Without Candace Parker, you don't have Stewie. You don't have Asia Wilson. Just like these players that are instrumental to the game today are because of Candace Parker. And I just had to shout her out before we get into anything, because that's just a big deal, and she deserves her flowers. Alright. Football. Getting into football. So the NFL draft was this weekend, and it was a crazy draft. I think the first round was one of the more wild first rounds we've seen in a while. Not because of like crazy trades, but like just like some boneheaded moves that were like, why? And that's why we're going to talk about our winners and losers. A lot of our losers did those boneheaded calls, and that ended them on my loser list. So I think we're going to start with the winners, because let's start positively. Because why not? Let's get right into it. So our first winner. I think this is a talking point that hasn't been talked about enough. I don't think I've seen it all. But the Patriots, how good they're already starting in their new regime, not having Bill Belichick as their GM. I think Bill Belichick, my opinion has always been, and I'm not like a hot take guy, but like I kind of thought he was overrated as a general manager, and not that his success was lucky or anything, but when it came time to surrounding what he needed and who he had around with talent when it mattered late in the game, he didn't really do that, and it kind of messed up Mac Jones, because Mac Jones, I didn't think he was going to be some amazing quarterback, but he wasn't bad, right? The first year he took his team to the playoffs as a rookie, that you don't do that by accident. And I think that him not surrounding Mac Jones with like solid talent really hurt him. And I think we're seeing instantly with this new regime that, man, like, they could get somewhere fast. And it started with Drake May, taking him at quarterback. Jaden Daniels goes at 2 to the Commanders. I like Jaden Daniels. I think Drake May was the better overall quarterback. He's younger. I think better attributes overall. I think he's better in the pocket. He can get outside the pocket too. And I think he's just a cornerstone you can build your franchise around. Not that Jaden Daniels isn't. I think that he has a higher ceiling as far as what he can be. So not only did they take Drake May, but I think they built around him really well. They got Jalen Polk from Washington, wide receiver, and Javon Baker from UCF. Two solid wide receivers. Not like the big names, but like Jalen Polk, like I watched him in the playoffs, and he was really really good. And Javon Baker is also super good. So you get receiver depth around him immediately, which is something that the Patriots haven't done in the past. And then you get O-line help. You get Caden Wallace from Penn State and Layden Robinson from Texas A&M. And it's just, okay, you're protecting your quarterback, you're getting him weapons, but you're also being smart with when you're getting these. Because like getting Cole Strange in the first round that 1 year probably wasn't the smartest thing in the world. And it's setting this up to be so much more sustainable for Drake May and for future success. Because we know that defense is going to be good, right? It's not you're losing what you had in Belichick scheme wise, but like Mayo, the new head coach, he played in Belichick's defense. He knows what it's going to be, and I know that's not the end all be all, but I think they're going to be good, right? Christian Gonzalez, the rookie cornerback, is coming back. So, and he was super, super good. So I think there's just a lot to look forward to this Patriots future just by the draft alone. My second winner, Philadelphia Eagles. It was a wild draft. So, first and second round, you revamped the secondary, which was desperately needed because the secondary was awful at times. And our cornerbacks are just getting old, and it's just time to get new ones in. So you got Quinyon Mitchell, who many had as the cornerback 1 of the draft, and then Cooper DeJean in the second round, who also people had as the cornerback 1 of the draft. So you get these two guys that can come in and they're already expected to perform at a high level. And Cooper DeJean is more of a versatile player, so you can play him at safety, you can play him in the slot, you can play him at corner, and you can just kind of figure out what's going to work best for him in his career. And then you just go down the line. They got Jalux Hunt from Houston Christian, first prospect from that college, which is really cool. And edge rusher. You know, you lose Hassan Reddick. We got Huff from the Jets, another edge rusher, and we kept Josh Sweat. So we have edge rushers, but it's like you want more depth because the front seven is always a point of pride for the Eagles. So it's always good to add depth. And Vic Fangio apparently really, really liked him. You got Anais Smith from Texas A&M, wide receiver. People really like him. We need a wide receiver 3. It's going to be like a kind of a battle with Paris Campbell, Devontae Parker, and Anais Smith. And I just think you put yourself in a really good spot to have a solid third option, which hasn't been kind of ideal. Like, you know you have your two guys. You just extended A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So you got these two guys locked in. But let's get some solid talent in that third slot, right? Then you get Jeremiah Trotter Jr., which, like, he might not be the best linebacker. I don't know how he's going to turn out, but it's like you need a linebacker, and you get someone who's familiar with the organization. You get someone who has skills to be a solid linebacker. We'll just have to see what happens, but I just like that pick overall. And then you get Will Shipley, running back from Clemson. He's going to be like a gadget guy. You need to beef up your running back room. It's more thin than it was in past years. So just, getting it strong behind Saquon Barkley is always good. And my last winner is the Bears, Chicago Bears. They took 4 players, so it's like, didn't do much, but what they did, I think, was very effective, right? And so you obviously get Caleb Williams. I'm sorry, they got 5 players. You get Caleb Williams. He's expected to be a generational quarterback prospect. You get him in, and then you surround him with talent. You already got him Keenan Allen. He already had DJ Moore. Then you get Rome Odunze out of Washington, he was one of my favorite wide receiver out of the draft. and you get him in. So you get 3 wide receiver ones. So you just set him up super well, getting both of them in the first round. I really, really like that. And then you get offensive line help with Kieran out of Yale. I'm not going to pronounce the last name because I'm not sure I could get it right now. And then you get your punter, you get your edge rusher, and it's just overall you're setting up Caleb Williams to be successful, which is what you should have done with Justin Fields, but you're doing it now, and I think you're giving him the best chance he has to succeed. Now it's all about coaching. How are you going to get Caleb Williams acclimated, get it into the rhythm, and they can make some noise this year, honestly, depending on how good Caleb is. Then we have our first losers, and that is going to be the Falcons. Now, I'm not going in depth in all of their picks because it gets to a point where I don't know the players that get picked in like the later rounds. But taking Michael Penix Jr. at number 8 when you sign Kirk Cousins, it's not even like, for me, it's not like the disrespecting Kirk Cousins part, because it's like I don't really care. That's like, do what you want there. But it's, you sign him for a huge contract, $180 million or something like that, and the expectation after you pay an older quarterback coming off an injury, in this moment, is that it's Super Bowl time, right? And when you get into this time and into this space where you're aiming to make a deep run in the playoffs, you want to get as much talent as you can that you can plug in right away. And they're probably not going to have this high of a pick in a while to get this high level talent. Like, there were really good wide receivers on the board. There was really good talent overall, defensive talent. You need a defense. And there was really good defensive players. There was secondary guys right there. Quinion Mitchell dropped to 22. It's like so many things you could have done, but you take Michael Penix, who's a 24-year-old quarterback, who's a guy that you would most likely want to play now, but you're saying you're going to rest him, and now you just basically wasted a pick that you could have contributed to the now team. And I think that made the owners and GMs butt heads, because it's like there seem to be differing opinions on what you should do there, because I just don't understand how that makes much sense. And that kind of messes up the rest from... And they focused on defense pretty much the rest of the way, except for 2 picks. But it's like... this was a big miss at number 8. A big miss. Next, we have the Titans. And I have them here. I don't think they're huge losers. But I think J.C. Latham at 7... I think there was better value there. I know Alt was taken at 5th, I believe. But, like, I think there was better value there. And I think with the team you're building, you got a rookie quarterback. Build around him. Maybe add to your defense more, because the defense has been brutal. But now you're finally getting, like, secondary help. Keep building on that. Build on that future, right? And it's just, like, I get wanting an offensive tackle, but like I don't know if he should have gone this high. That's my only thing. Losers were really tough to pick for me because of how stacked the draft picks were. So my last loser is the Denver Broncos, and it was similar to the Atlanta Falcons, where you were at pick 12. All the big quarterback names are off the board, right? And you have guys in your QB room that aren't like exactly like really good quarterbacks at all, but it's like guys that can be bridge guys, and you can like just kind of get through this year, maybe get someone in the second round, whatever. But to take Bo Nix at 12, who is just not a great quarterback prospect at all. I thought he was going to be like a 3rd or 4th round guy, if we're being real. And to take him at 12, when you can build off a team, you can get a cornerstone guy at 12. And if you're as bad of a team as the Broncos are, get someone that you can build off of. Bo Nix is not going to be your future. Now, if he ends up being your future, I'm going to look silly, but that's fine. But like right now, it's like, don't take him there. No. No, no. Again, so much talent was early on in the draft to fix your defense, right? The defense wasn't that good anymore. Y'all gave up 70 points in a game. Quarterback is an important position, but it is not an excuse to be foolish just because you have a first round pick and you feel like it should be on a quarterback. Bo Nix is not a first round quarterback. He's just not. And he was set up in a good system in Oregon. He did a lot of checkdowns, and it made him look pretty good. And he might be solid, but he's not a pick 12 guy. And it's just disappointing. So that's my winners and losers. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree with me, who your winners and losers would be. And like, subscribe, all that. And let me know what you think about our new changes to the channel. New logos, new sound. Shout out to my team for just putting this together. They're my friends, and they helped put this all together, and it looks so good. So good. I'll have their credit down below. I'm very excited about this new look, so I hope you love it too. And let me know what you think. All right, peace out.